Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm standing with the co-chairs of the task force that I put together about a year ago. Michael Langley, the CEO of Greater MSP, and Doug Baker, the CEO of Ecolab, one of our great St. Paul companies. A year ago, after the Macy's closed, we knew that we needed to move quickly to create a vision for downtown St. Paul that seized on the assets, that seized on the work that we've done, on the things that had happened and the things that were about to happen, not the least of which was the light rail line that opens up on June 14th of this year, the Penfield project and the Macy's, or the Byerly's store that will be opening up on May 15th this year, the great work that has gone into the ballpark in Lower Town, the work that went into the Union Depot to develop that into one of the most beautiful buildings in the state of Minnesota, if not the entire region. The work that has gone on the Pioneer Endicott building to bring more residents downtown, the movement on the post office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is so much momentum in the city of St. Paul right now. It is a very different place and a very rapidly changing place that I am very lucky to be mayor of at this time. But the fact of the matter is we have to keep that momentum going. We have to continue to push the vision. We have to seize on the work that we've done, but continue to make sure that people understand that while there is still opportunity to get in on the ground floor in some of these developments, I think that those windows of opportunity hopefully will close very, very shortly. But it was important for us to reach out to the community, to understand what our strengths were, where we had some weaknesses, the things that we needed to do better, and how do we create what is now potential sites into reality sites. And I think that the vision and the document that we are about to present to all of you really does that. This is, I should say, is in some ways it's aspirational. I can't say that anything that you see on these boards is exactly what it's going to look like in the future, but I think what it does capture is this sense of incredible energy and the opportunity to create some new iconographic kind of spaces and places in the downtown area, and really seize on what has been happening. There are a lot of folks that have been invested in downtown St. Paul for very many years, that have believed in it, that have understood the great opportunity here. Whether you go back to the early days of the Riverfront Corporation and the work that was done on the St. Paul and the Mississippi River Development Framework, that really I think set the tone for the opportunities that we're seizing here today. But again, it is great that we have all the things that are going on right now. But we will be at our best when we seize all the opportunities and keep that momentum going. It is my pleasure to turn it over at this point to Michael Langley with Greater MSP for a few remarks, and then we'll have a little bit of a quick overview of the plan. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Doug, for your leadership as well on this, and thanks to the entire task force. And so numerous that I'm not going to name them all right now, but when we publish the report today, we'll have the names of all of the members of the task force that were involved in the project. We call this Prosper, Momentum is Building, kind of our vision for the city of St. Paul for the future in its downtown. This has been a labor of love for all of those who are involved with it this year, and the process was very engaged. We started with a survey and a lot of discussions with our real estate community, both the broker and developer community throughout not only St. Paul but throughout the entire greater Minneapolis-St. Paul region, to understand what the current belief structure is about what's possible and what the future holds for downtown St. Paul. And we got tremendous input and guidance. Also, not just limiting it to the professional real estate community, but we decided a survey was needed. So a survey was conducted of over 250 downtown St. Paul businesses to understand both their preferences, their needs, and their aspirations for the future of downtown St. Paul. So this was a very engaged process. We also relied on our professional community to help us create that vision. And happy to say that a downtown St. Paul architectural firm, VWBR, was selected and worked very diligently with us over the last number of months to help us put together what we heard and what we see as the vision for what the possibilities are. And Jim, if you'd come to the podium now and kind of give us, just if you could, just a few minutes of overview on some of the key findings that we reached, and in particular the kind of visualizations of those findings.
Thank you, Michael. The three illustrations that you see in front of you are three of the four sites that we investigated as part of this kind of development study, and we're excited about the potential that they provide in the development. These are just an illustration of what could be. They're intended to generate excitement and start to develop the vision for what the possibilities are. On your far left is the Macy's Wabasha Court site, which actually is two sites that front Wabasha Street. That illustration shows a development on the Wabasha, on the Ham Building site side, which completes the Ham Building with retail and commercial at the base and a boutique hotel above that. And then on the Macy's site, we're also showing retail development at the base, connecting the Skyway system back to downtown St. Paul with a office level, 10-story office level above that, and then housing above that. And each of these development scenarios have some level of housing, which we think is a catalyst for the development in St. Paul. The next illustration is the Ramsey County Government Center West site, which is a fantastic opportunity to relink downtown with the Mississippi River Valley below. And the concept here is that we use the bluff part of the site to house parking as a liner building, and then housing adjacent to that as a kind of a podium base. Above that grows a hotel and additional housing with a pedestrian link from Kellogg down to the Lower Landing Park. And in addition to that, the building itself is kind of growing up out of the bluff. On my left, your right, is the Seven Corners Gateway site, which is another great potential opportunity to relink the west development end of St. Paul with the downtown. It illustrates a way to start to capture some of the event activity that happens at Xcel Energy and River Center with a hotel development. On the corner of 7th and 5th, a ballroom event space, all surrounding an outdoor plaza, which starts to form the activity zone with 7th Street as part of that development area.
Peter Smith, the CEO of BWBR, is here with us today also. Peter, thank you for being here. And I'd also like to recognize the Chair of Ramsey County Commission, Jim McDonough, who has been a great partner to us also throughout this process. Thank you, Commissioner, for your help. And now I'd like to turn it over to Doug Baker for his remarks.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Michael. I'll just add a couple of points. Ecolab's a big believer in downtown St. Paul. So am I. I would like to salute the mayor for asking us to lead this, because what we've really created, I think, is a very motivated team of downtown business residents, business leaders who really want to help see St. Paul become an even greater city. We like it today, but it has really terrific potential, and we're dedicated to make it an even better place to work, live, and play going forward, really building on the mayor's vision that he really set out when he put us on this mission. I'd like to thank Greater MSP. We formed Greater MSP as a regional economic development arm, really to create some of the capabilities that we thought were important for this region to continue to go. I would tell you the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul made this thing work and made it happen, and those two leadership positions were most critical in pulling this thing together. And I think you can see the fine work here. And then also I'd like to salute BWBR for your great work on this. We appreciate it, and I think as you get a chance to go through it, you'll appreciate the professionalism and I think the vision that they helped us create and model. So I think that was terrific as well. So last, I'll just say we're excited about St. Paul. It's a great city. It can be even a better place. And I think as you get a chance to go through the vision and the work that we've done, you can see why we are so excited. And to the rest of the team, we are going to continue meeting as a task force or as a council, whatever we call ourselves, to make sure that we bring some of these ideas to fruition and do indeed build an even better city going forward. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Great. And finally, before questions, I just want to thank all the members of the task force for their incredible work, their hard work and efforts to create this vision and keep the momentum going in the city of St. Paul. So with that, any questions?
What is the city's role in making these things come to life?
Well, the great thing on these 4 particular sites is all of them are in some form of public ownership, either the county, the city, or some combination of the city and Met Council. And so clearly we have in the Port Authority owning the Macy site. So we will certainly have the ability to direct projects as, we say yes to this or no to that. We want to be very open to any possibility. So whether it looks like this or doesn't look like this, we welcome all ideas. But there is, we're not going to take any offer that comes along. We think these are key opportunity sites, and we want to make sure that the vision matches of a developer matches the vision of all of us that believe in the future of downtown St. Paul. So what, the couple things obviously that we have to make sure that we do is make it as easy as possible for developers to come in, streamline processes. I know Ricardo Cervantes from our Department of Safety and Inspections is here putting together kind of a plan to make sure that a developer can come in and, not just do anything he or she wants, but to work very, with the community, work with the district council, but know that there's some certainty going forward. And so part of it is just simply on making sure that the process works for a developer. Beyond that, what the city's, counties, or other government role might be, will be open to conversations with the developer.
Mayor, can you talk about whatever interest there is so far that you're aware of in these sites from private developers?
I tell you, without naming any specific names, there's a lot of interest, and you see that on the Seven Corners Hardware site and the development plans for that site and how exciting that is. That's been a purely an interest of a developer that hasn't done a lot of work in the city of St. Paul previously. We're getting inquiries from developers that haven't ever worked in the city of St. Paul. Cecile Bedore, my Planning and Economic Development Director, can share stories of having conversations with developers a year ago saying they would never develop in St. Paul, now closing on buildings in downtown St. Paul. And so that is, there's just, at some point, and I don't know when it was, but I think we tipped over the line for a lot of developers that hadn't seen the opportunity in St. Paul, that now really understand that this is a great place and there's a great opportunity here.
For this to materialize, the developer would have to pretty much go along with this vision. Is that correct?
No, these are just ideas, and I think people need pictures. When I'm a person that likes to see pretty pictures, and if that doesn't quite develop like that, that's fine. But the important thing is this kind of grasps the potential opportunities that we have, and so we're obviously open to any conversations and discussions. I love these drawings. I love this vision, but I certainly could fall in love with something else.
Is there, you've ordered up a bunch of Class A office space in this, and my understanding with that is no one's going to build it on spec. There'd need to be actually a business that wants to be an anchor tenant for something like that. Do you have any businesses you're trying to woo?
Well, I'll turn that over to Michael to talk about, because that's one of the reasons why Greater MSP, in working with the Chamber of Commerce, Matt Kramer's here, and the business community generally, is so important, because it is critical that people see the potential opportunity here as well. So, Michael, if you want to comment on that.
Thanks, Mayor. I would just say that represented by these particular visionary approaches, they entail not just one product type. You're not looking at all retail, you're not looking at all commercial office buildings, or you're not looking at all hospitality or hotel. You're looking at a very balanced mix, right? We know that residential density in the cities and the office activity in the cities is what drives retail. So mixed use is going to be the name of the game on any of these sites that we're talking about right now. There may be more density in commercial office in some of the sites, and there may be more density of residential in other sites. But the good news is that St. Paul is positioned very well for an excellent mix of commercial, office, and retail. And that's what is represented by this vision. Rick.
Are there any ordinance changes, zoning, or anything that you'll need to do in advance of paving the way for developers?
No, the beauty of this, these are all downtown sites, and downtown allows a lot of leeway in terms of what can happen here. And so we won't be limited that way, only limited by the, you know, how high you can dream. And we're very excited about that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.